What if I told you that the way you drink water every single day could be silently influencing how fast your skin ages? We've been taught a simple equation: drink more water, get better skin. Hydration equals youth. It's intuitive, it feels right. After all, our bodies are roughly 60% water. Our skin, the organ we see, is no exception. But here's the biological twist. Plain water alone does not build collagen. It does not directly firm your skin. And it does not instruct your cells to smooth wrinkles. Collagen is not a passive sponge that absorbs water and magically tightens. It is a living protein matrix woven together by fibroblast cells that require signals, micronutrients, antioxidants, and proper blood flow to do their work. Hydration is necessary, yes, but hydration without instruction is like delivering bricks to a construction site without architects or builders. So the real question becomes, what if the water you drink could carry biological instructions? What if it could signal your cells to protect collagen from breakdown, stimulate new collagen synthesis, and reduce the inflammation that accelerates visible aging? Hey everyone, and welcome back. If you are passionate about natural health and evidence-based wellness, you found your tribe. For those just joining our health journey, welcome. We're thrilled to have you here as we explore the fascinating intersection of ancient wisdom and modern science. If this content resonates with you, tap that like button and subscribe so you never miss our deep dives into natural health solutions, and tell us where you're watching from. I love seeing how global this community truly is. Today, we're going to decode something deceptively simple: how adding one powerful, scientifically validated ingredient to your daily water can activate the biology of firmer skin, stronger collagen, and smoother texture from the inside out. Because aging is not just about time passing. It's about signals being sent, and when we change the signals, we change the outcome. Let's explore how. Let's begin where all firmness begins, at the microscopic scaffolding beneath your skin. Collagen is often described as a protein, but that word hardly captures its elegance. Imagine a rope woven from 3 strands twisted together in a precise triple helix. That helix gives skin tensile strength. It allows it to stretch and recoil. It holds structure the way steel beams hold a skyscraper upright. But here's what most people don't realize. Collagen is fragile during its creation. Inside your fibroblast cells, collagen begins as a loose chain of amino acids. Before it can become that strong triple helix, it must undergo a critical chemical refinement process called hydroxylation. 2 enzymes, prolyl hydroxylase and lysyl hydroxylase, modify specific amino acids so that the strands can bind tightly together. And these enzymes have a non-negotiable requirement: vitamin C. Without vitamin C, collagen fibers are unstable. They weaken, they unravel. In severe deficiency, as seen historically in scurvy, gums bleed and skin integrity collapses. Sailors in the 18th century didn't just feel fatigued, their connective tissue literally fell apart. When citrus fruits were reintroduced, their collagen synthesis resumed. Structure returned. That is not folklore, that is biochemistry. Modern research confirms this. Clinical studies published in journals like the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition have shown that higher vitamin C intake is associated with improved skin appearance and reduced wrinkling. In vitro studies demonstrate that vitamin C directly stimulates fibroblasts to increase collagen gene expression. So when you add fresh lemon to your water in the morning, you are not just flavoring hydration, you are delivering a cofactor required for structural integrity. Think of plain water as construction material delivered to the site. Adding vitamin C is hiring the engineer who ensures the beams are properly reinforced. Have you ever noticed that dehydrated skin looks dull, but chronically nutrient deficient skin looks thin? That's the difference between surface moisture and structural biology. Now here's the empowering part. Collagen synthesis is not something that stops at a certain age. It slows, yes, but your cells retain the machinery. Fibroblasts do not retire. They respond to signals. One simple framework I encourage is what I call the morning signal ritual. A glass of filtered water, juice of half a fresh lemon or a clean vitamin C source, around 250-500 milliliters total daily intake from diet and supplementation combined. Consistency, daily signaling, not occasional dosing. Why morning? Because collagen production follows circadian rhythms. Your body is primed for repair and rebuilding in the early part of the day, particularly when cortisol naturally rises and metabolism activates. But there's more. Even if you stimulate collagen production, you must protect what you build, because collagen breakdown is happening constantly through sunlight, pollution, psychological stress. So the next question becomes, how do we shield our newly formed collagen from silent erosion? To answer that, we need to look at oxidative stress, the invisible force that accelerates aging at the molecular level. If collagen is the scaffolding of youth, oxidative stress is the slow, invisible erosion of that structure. Every day, your skin is exposed to forces that generate free radicals, unstable molecules that behave like tiny sparks. Ultraviolet radiation from sunlight, air pollution, even psychological stress. Inside the body, normal metabolism within your mitochondria produces reactive oxygen species as a byproduct of making energy. None of this is abnormal. In fact, it's part of being alive. The problem arises when those sparks outnumber your internal fire extinguishers. When free radicals accumulate, they activate enzymes known as matrix metalloproteinases, MMPs. These enzymes are designed to remodel tissue, but under oxidative stress, they become overactive. They begin degrading collagen faster than your fibroblasts can rebuild it. It's like having demolition crews working overtime while construction slows down. This is where vitamin C reveals its second identity, not just as a builder, but as a shield. Vitamin C is one of the most potent water-soluble antioxidants in human physiology. It donates electrons to neutralize free radicals before they can damage lipids, DNA, or collagen proteins. In dermatology research, topical and dietary vitamin C have both been shown to reduce oxidative damage induced by UV exposure. Studies published in journals such as Nutrients and Dermatoendocrinology highlight its ability to decrease MMP activation and support photoprotection. Let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed how skin seems to age faster during prolonged stress, emotional or environmental? That's not your imagination. Stress hormones increase oxidative burden. Pollution particles generate reactive oxygen species. The biology is measurable. Now imagine this. Each time you drink water infused with vitamin C, you are replenishing part of your antioxidant defense network. You are restoring balance to a redox system that determines whether collagen is preserved or fragmented. And this is where the habit becomes powerful. Hydration is frequent. We drink multiple times per day. By attaching antioxidant replenishment to a behavior you already perform, you convert a passive habit into an active defense strategy. If this insight is helping you see something ordinary in a new light, consider subscribing. Because what we're doing here is reframing daily rituals into longevity tools grounded in science, accessible to everyone. Here's a simple antioxidant amplification strategy. Start your morning with lemon water. Add a second serving mid-afternoon when oxidative stress from metabolic activity peaks. Pair it with colorful, polyphenol-rich foods berries, green tea, dark leafy vegetables to create antioxidant synergy. Vitamin C regenerates oxidized vitamin E, extending the protective network. Biology is rarely about single molecules working alone. It's about networks like orchestras, not soloists. And when the antioxidant network is strong, something remarkable happens. Collagen degradation slows. Skin tone appears brighter. Inflammation quiets. But collagen production and protection require one more critical factor: nourishment delivered through blood flow. Because even the most motivated fibroblast cannot function without oxygen and nutrients. And that brings us to the next frontier: angiogenesis, the growth and maintenance of healthy microcirculation that feeds your skin from within. When we think about skin aging, we often focus on the surface creams, serums, sunlight. But beneath the visible layer lies a living network of microvessels, capillaries, thinner than a strand of hair, delivering oxygen, glucose, amino acids, and micronutrients to every fibroblast. Without circulation, there is no regeneration. I've spent much of my scientific career studying angiogenesis, the process by which our bodies grow and maintain blood vessels. Angiogenesis is neither good nor bad. In cancer, we aim to inhibit abnormal vessel growth. In wound healing and tissue repair, we seek to support healthy vascular function. Your skin depends on balanced angiogenesis. As we age, microcirculation can decline. Endothelial cells, the cells lining blood vessels, become less responsive. Nitric oxide production decreases. The vessel stiffens slightly. Delivery of nutrients slows. The construction site still exists, but supply trucks arrive late. Now here's where vitamin C again plays a quiet but essential role. Vitamin C supports endothelial function. It enhances nitric oxide bioavailability, helping blood vessels relax and maintain flexibility. Research in cardiovascular journals has demonstrated that vitamin C supplementation can improve endothelial-dependent vasodilation, particularly in individuals under oxidative stress. Why does this matter for skin? Because collagen synthesis requires oxygen. Fibroblasts require amino acids like glycine and proline, and these resources must be delivered efficiently. Think of your skin as a garden. Collagen is the trellis. Fibroblasts are the gardeners, but blood flow is the irrigation system. Without steady water and nutrients, even the most skilled gardener cannot cultivate thriving plants. Have you ever noticed that regular exercise gives the skin a subtle glow? That's circulation. That's angiogenesis responding positively to movement. So here's a practical protocol to amplify this mechanism. Begin your day with vitamin C-infused water to support endothelial health. Incorporate 20-30 minutes of brisk walking or resistance training to stimulate nitric oxide production naturally. Consider pairing hydration with nitrate-rich foods like arugula or spinach, which further enhance vascular responsiveness. Biology rewards synergy, and something else happens when circulation improves. Detoxification becomes more efficient. Waste products are cleared. Inflammatory mediators are diluted. Nutrient exchange accelerates, which brings us to a deeper layer of the aging equation, because even with collagen production stimulated and oxidative stress neutralized and blood flow optimized, there remains a powerful force that stiffens tissue and accelerates wrinkle formation. Chronic inflammation. Not the dramatic inflammation of injury, redness, swelling, pain, but the quiet, persistent, low-grade inflammation that researchers now call inflammaging. It is subtle. It accumulates over years, and it reshapes the skin's architecture from within. So the next frontier in our exploration is this: how does vitamin C help calm the molecular fire that quietly ages us? And what daily signals can we send to cool it down? There is a kind of fire that does not announce itself. It doesn't swell the ankle or redden the skin. It doesn't demand immediate attention. Instead, it flickers quietly beneath the surface, a steady hum of immune activation that over time alters the architecture of tissues. Scientists now call it inflammaging. Chronic low-grade inflammation increases with age. Levels of inflammatory cytokines such as IL-6 and TNF-alpha gradually rise. The transcription factor, NF-kB, a master switch for inflammatory gene expression, becomes more easily activated. Over years, this persistent signaling shifts the balance away from repair and toward degradation. In skin, that means collagen fibers become fragmented. Elastin loses resilience. The extracellular matrix stiffens. Have you ever wondered why stress seems to show up on the face? Why prolonged emotional strain subtly changes skin tone and texture? Cortisol and inflammatory mediators are not abstract concepts. They alter fibroblast behavior in measurable ways. Now here is where vitamin C becomes more than structural support or antioxidant shield. It becomes a regulator. Vitamin C has been shown in multiple studies to modulate inflammatory signaling pathways. It can reduce NF-kB activation under oxidative stress conditions. It lowers circulating markers of inflammation in certain populations. By reducing oxidative triggers, it indirectly prevents inflammatory cascades from igniting. Think of inflammation as a thermostat that has been set slightly too high. Vitamin C does not shut off the system, nor should it. Inflammation is necessary for healing and defense, but it helps recalibrate the dial, and this recalibration has visible consequences. When inflammation decreases, collagen breakdown slows. Water retention within the dermis normalizes. Microcirculation improves. Skin appears firmer and more even-toned. But we must zoom out even further. Inflammation is not driven by one factor. It is influenced by sleep quality, blood sugar stability, psychological stress, and diet. So here is a daily anti-inflammaging framework. Begin with vitamin C enhanced hydration in the morning. Stabilize blood sugar by pairing meals with fiber and protein. Prioritize 7 to 8 hours of restorative sleep when growth hormone supports tissue repair. Incorporate stress regulation practices, breathing exercises, meditation, or simply time outdoors. Because biology listens to patterns. If this perspective is expanding how you think about skin beyond products and into physiology, consider subscribing. We are building a community that sees health not as cosmetic enhancement, but as cellular intelligence expressed outwardly. Now, there is one more silent architect of wrinkles we must confront. It is not oxidative stress alone. It is not inflammation alone. It is sugar. Specifically, what sugar does to collagen fibers through a process called glycation, a chemical reaction that stiffens and distorts the very proteins we are trying to protect. And understanding this process may change not just what you add to your water, but how you think about sweetness itself. Let's talk about something rarely mentioned in the beauty aisle, caramelization. When you heat sugar on a stove, it browns, it stiffens, it hardens into brittle strands. That transformation is not just culinary, it mirrors a process happening slowly inside our bodies. It's called glycation. Glycation occurs when excess glucose binds non-enzymatically to proteins like collagen. Over time, these sugar-protein complexes rearrange into structures known as advanced glycation end products ages. The name is fitting. They are, quite literally, advanced markers of aging. When collagen becomes glycated, it loses flexibility. It becomes rigid and resistant to normal remodeling. The once supple triple helix turns brittle. Skin that was designed to stretch and rebound begins to crease and hold its folds. Have you ever noticed how chronically elevated blood sugar seems to age the skin faster? In people with poorly controlled diabetes, we see accelerated collagen cross-linking. This is not cosmetic theory. It is measurable biochemistry documented extensively in metabolic research. Now here's the deeper insight. Glycation is amplified by oxidative stress and inflammation. These processes are not separate highways, they intersect. And this is where vitamin C re-enters the conversation in a fascinating way. Vitamin C competes with glucose for entry into certain cellular transport pathways. Some research suggests that adequate vitamin C levels may reduce intracellular oxidative stress linked to hyperglycemia. Additionally, because vitamin C is structurally similar to glucose, it may limit certain glycation reactions indirectly by lowering oxidative intermediates that promote age formation. It is not a magic eraser for sugar damage, but it is part of a defensive network. Think of collagen as a silk fabric. Glycation is like dripping syrup onto it and letting it dry. Antioxidant protection, blood sugar balance, and anti-inflammatory signaling are the gentle washing cycles that preserve its softness. So here's the practical longevity tool, the Glycation Guard Protocol. Add vitamin C to your daily hydration consistently. Reduce refined sugar and ultra-processed carbohydrates. Pair carbohydrates with fiber, healthy fats, and protein to blunt glucose spikes. Consider time-restricted eating if appropriate, allowing insulin levels to periodically fall and metabolic repair to occur. Ask yourself, how often do you hydrate with sweetened beverages instead of pure or mineral-rich water? Ironically, many hydration drinks accelerate the very collagen damage people hope to prevent. This is why upgrading plain water matters. When you replace sugar-laden drinks with water enhanced by vitamin C, whether from fresh citrus or a clean source, you accomplish two things simultaneously. You remove a driver of glycation, you add a defender of collagen integrity, and there is something psychologically powerful about this shift. Hydration becomes intentional. Each sip becomes a micro-decision aligned with cellular preservation rather than silent degradation. Now, we arrive at the final layer of this journey, perhaps the most elegant of all. Water itself is not merely hydration. It is a delivery system, a signal carrier, and when we enrich it strategically, we transform something ordinary into a daily instruction set for our biology. Let's bring it all together. Water is the most consumed substance in your daily life, and perhaps the least appreciated. We think of it as neutral, passive, a background requirement for survival. But biologically, water is a courier. Every nutrient, every hormone, every antioxidant traveling through your bloodstream depends on it as a transport medium. It is the river system of your internal landscape. When you drink plain water, you hydrate. That matters. Cellular reactions require an aqueous environment. Skin turgor improves temporarily with adequate hydration. But when you add vitamin C through fresh lemon, lime, or a clean, well-formulated source, you convert hydration into signaling. You are no longer just filling space within cells. You are delivering molecular instructions. build collagen, neutralize oxidative stress, support endothelial flexibility, calibrate inflammation, defend against glycation. And here's the deeper principle: frequency beats intensity. Longevity is rarely about dramatic interventions. It is about repeated gentle nudges in the right direction. You hydrate daily. That makes hydration the perfect behavioral anchor, a habit that already exists. So let's synthesize what we've uncovered. Collagen requires vitamin C as a cofactor for structural stability. Without it, the triple helix weakens. Oxidative stress activates enzymes that degrade collagen, and vitamin C serves as a frontline antioxidant shield. Microcirculation delivers oxygen and amino acids to fibroblasts, and vitamin C supports endothelial function to keep that delivery system efficient. Chronic inflammation stiffens tissue over time, and vitamin C helps modulate inflammatory signaling pathways. Excess sugar glycates collagen, turning supple fibers brittle, and vitamin C contributes to the antioxidant network that counters this metabolic stress. 5 mechanisms, 1 daily ritual. Now return to the opening question: is plain water enough? For survival, yes. For optimized skin architecture and collagen resilience, not entirely, because aging is not simply dehydration. It is cumulative molecular signaling. And here is the empowering truth: your biology is responsive, even now, even today. Your fibroblasts are listening, your endothelial cells are listening, your inflammatory pathways are listening. So I invite you to try something simple starting tomorrow morning before coffee, before checking your phone. Pour a glass of filtered water, add the juice of half a fresh lemon or a high-quality vitamin C source, pause for a moment before drinking it, and recognize that you are not chasing youth, you are supporting function. Youthfulness is often the byproduct of well-supported physiology, and this is larger than skin. When we understand the mechanisms that drive visible aging, we begin to see how the same pathways influence cardiovascular health, immune resilience, cognitive clarity, and metabolic balance. Collagen is in your skin, but also in your blood vessels, joints, and gut lining. So this simple act ripples outward. If today's exploration helped you see hydration differently, not as a checkbox, but as a daily biological opportunity, I invite you to be part of this growing movement. Like this video if it resonated. Share it with someone who spends money on creams but hasn't explored cellular nutrition. And subscribe so we can continue decoding the science of human potential together. Drop a comment below and tell me, will you try upgrading your water tomorrow? And where in the world are you watching from? Because the future of longevity is not hidden in complexity. It is often waiting inside the simplest rituals refined by science, guided by intention, and practiced consistently. And your cells are ready to respond.